Hello, hello, and welcome back to the League of Europe podcast. As always, every week we have an interview. This week, no different, obviously. And I'm glad to say, once again, I've got Daka alongside me. If you want to say a quick hello.
Yes, thank you very much, Gary. Hello, everyone, and here we are yet again. This podcast a little bit late in the week, so apologies for that, but it should be a great show. And I think, especially once you find out the guest that we have, I think you know that we've got a lot of fun ahead of us today.
Yeah, I very nearly called you QVR Daka there, so I'm glad I didn't. But anyway, yeah, moving on to the guests, we got the Slovenian. If I'm not mistaken, Slovenian. Please tell me Slovenian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got it
right.
right.
Yeah, thank God.
For
I've got
once.
yeah. Obviously, it's Cookie. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I can't
All
believe you
right.
decided to come onto this podcast and have it sit down with me. I feel
Well, I
sorry for you.
I don't. I mean, we had our fair share of words exchanged in what season 3, so
Yeah,
I think we are good right now.
yeah.
Not
I think Dan
we're on
might
the
be a
title fight.
ref. Dan might be a ref
Yeah.
for this. But
Yeah,
Fine.
I'm gonna need to break it up at some point, I think.
nah, I think
Yeah.
I think that's water under the bridge now. We're both pretty bad at the game nowadays, so it doesn't really matter.
Debatable, but yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess that like brings us on straight away to my first question for you. Division 1 for you is a bit of a, I don't know, love-hate relationship, I guess. You do, like every time I've seen you, you do really well in qualifying, but then come the race, it seems to, like, I don't know, it just all goes wrong for you. Like, what do you put that down to? Like,
I'm gonna say last season. I mean, previous season, especially yeah, last season. I just my mindset just I think Kvyat Verstappen told me, I mean, pointed it out to me that I'm just too eager on in race, trying too much, because doesn't everything doesn't go to my like what I planned to that should happen. So yeah, that's what was the problem. And this season, I mean, I'm hoping I can do better. So yeah, I was a bit unfortunate in race 1 with
Yeah.
Connor taking me out, got damaged, and I tried to kind of do something different by pitting very early on Inters, which, as you could see, I didn't work out. I lost like half a second in 2 laps, so I mean half a minute, half a minute. So yeah, I mean it's a mix of everything, honestly. A bit of me not practicing enough for race, just sweating qualifying, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to change like now for this season.
mhm.
Yeah, and I think you've made a encouraging start, I'd say. It's just that a lot of just things largely out of your control haven't gone your way. So we can see if the season's going to turn around for you. Of course, you race here in League of Europe. You also raced for the team Clean Vigor Racing QVR, which I raced for a good while. You've been in the team for just under a year now, I think.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think 2 2 months,
I
and
remember
it's
that
gonna be 1 year.
announcement. I remember that announcement. That was quite fun.
Painful.
Oh yeah. We go. I guess we'll go into the season 3 business a bit later. But going back towards QVR, what kind of drew you? What kind of encouraged you to go for QVR? I believe they approached you, and you seemed to be very happy with it. What made QVR very attractive to you to get into?
Honestly, before, I mean, looking back a year ago, I like said to myself, I'm never joining a team. I'm not about that. I'm not about that. But like when I kind of saw QER and started to practicing with this guy, with especially with Maladiktis, because he was my teammate in D2, I saw how, I mean, he was a great person, and I kind of asked him myself how if it is possible to join somehow or here and that. And after a few weeks, I think Tim approached me, and yeah, that's just kind of what happened afterwards. It's a history.
Had you ever been asked like by any other teams to join?
No,
Like, no,
no,
that's
no,
surprising
not at
actually.
all. Actually, yeah, I got it from one of my friends, but yeah, he was making a new team. But other than that, no, I haven't been asked by any other team.
Yeah.
Would you say that QVR has like qualities over other teams that kind of makes it more attractive to you, makes you enjoy it more? Would you ever accept accept an offer from another team?
Um, at the moment, I'm happy with QR. Like
Yeah.
the people in the team are amazing. It's like a second family to me. So I don't I don't plan on moving unless I don't plan. Yeah, I'm not planning on moving yet, or never. Any other team didn't really look appealing to me. I don't know why, but yeah, QVR kind of stand out to me. I think it's more about people than the actual like. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Cool. I mean, yeah, QVR, like, I joke with them a lot, but like they are a good bunch of lads. So, like, it is a great team. So I don't blame you for joining them or them taking you. Even though back in that time when it happened,
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
bit, yeah. I think that brings on
We-
nicely a little. I think that's a bit of a bridge to division, or not division three, season three, where things got a bit heated between me and you more than once, and basically the whole QVR team.
At times, yeah. At times, quite a bit.
Yeah,
Especially to the end of the season. At the end of
yeah,
the season.
Well, I
yeah.
guess we can start by talking about the engineering drama, because at the very start of the season, before Cookie was a part of QVR, uh, Campbell was engineering for Gary, and then then
Yeah.
Cookie got invited into and everyone in QVR was pretty much going against Cookie at that point. Then we got Cookie in the team, and then all of a sudden Gamble starts engineering him and turning against Gary. So I guess this is to both of you. How was that whole situation? How did that develop, and what were your feelings going throughout it?
Oh, I was loving it. Oh, I'm gonna lie. You know, Gary. I mean, it was amazing seeing Gary kind of getting annoyed week in, week out. But yeah, especially when it was announced, that was kind of funny.
I mean,
Especially,
yeah, go on, sorry.
especially like even a few a month or two later when his teammate in D2 got announced. That was even, I think, better than my announcement. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that one, yeah. I
he
mean,
got cornered.
the Campbell one, I was annoyed. I was like, meh. That's like, because then obviously he wasn't gonna Jeff me anymore. He's gonna Jeff you. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I can get someone else to Jeff. And then Nico got taken by QBR as well. I was like, how, I was thinking to myself, they're doing everything they can to try and make me lose. It was like I was just
Public
like,
enemy number one.
yeah, I was like, it was like me against them. It was looking back at it now, it was so dumb the way I went on. But like, yeah, I could see why Cookie found it funny. I didn't find it amusing at all. I was so annoyed. And to be fair, just like it made me want to beat him even more. So it wasn't all bad really, but yeah, it was fun, I guess.
Yeah, in a way, I guess.
In a
Yeah.
way, in a way. But Belgium wasn't fun.
Oh, don't get me started. Not just Belgium.
I think Belgium probably is. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that is your worst league racing experience ever.
um, yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Wait, yeah, actually, yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, it is.
Because
I don't
realistically,
think.
you win the championship if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, there were some other aspects, but yeah, that was the main. I think the breaking points very similar to what happened to Vettel in Germany 2018.
Hmm.
I think that kind of took took my mood down a bit, quite a bit. Got
Mhm.
quite annoyed, but yeah,
Yeah, because I
I gave it my
remember.
best.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
the few races after that, like you struggled a little bit, but like then like the last 5 or 6 races, like you were easily the quickest driver on the grid, and like you won. I think you won the last 3 races, was it? 3 or 4 races?
I think 4 out of 6 was it? I think.
It's not
Yeah.
bad, to be honest. I mean, you easily had the most wins.
Yeah, I mean, but that doesn't make you a champion, right? It's
True.
points.
True. But yeah, I think. What do you think was like? Obviously, we had like our bitterness. Well, I think I had more bitterness towards you than you had towards me. But like, what do you think was like the most heated moment of the season between us two, if there was one really? I'm trying to think.
You know, on the track, the only time we fought was in Germany.
Yeah, really, literally.
For those, what, one lap or two, but that's it.
And you nearly put
So
me in the wall.
yeah, it wasn't my fault. It
Oh, it was
was
the
my fault.
game. It was the game. The
Yeah, it
game.
was games contact model. I wasn't,
Sake.
but yeah, I don't think we had some heated moments off track. I can't remember exactly one, but yeah, on track, I don't think we had a lot.
On track, not really. No.
Yeah,
Off track, I had a big mouth, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
yeah. I kind of kept it. I mean, low. I'd say QVR guys kind of stopped me from doing too
Yeah.
much in the LOE chat because they didn't want beef.
Well, that's why I was trying to start beef because I wanted to get into your head,
Yeah.
basically.
I mean, I wanted to do the same, but yeah, they kind of stopped me from doing that. Kind of advised me not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What I want to ask you though is that, like, after, of course, that season when you were fighting Gary for the championship, of course, afterwards you got promoted up into Division One. Obviously, found it much tougher. How much more difficult was it to motivate yourself to keep pressing forward, trying to improve? Because I know the feeling. Like when you're doing well and you're up front, it can be a bit easier to keep pressing, try and
Yeah.
build on those results. But if you're at the back, well, you weren't necessarily at the back per se, but you were struggling. So what was it like trying to get yourself back to your best and starting to fight for some higher positions up there? How difficult was it to motivate yourself, getting the right head mindset?
I mean, I think it was. I mean, for me, it was. I think hard because I always expect top notch from myself. So if I'm not like top, I'm be disappointed. If I don't do good quality, I'll be disappointed even before the race starts. So I kind of already scrapped the race and just didn't care about the race, really. So yeah, that kind of mentality I'm gonna say was weak from my side, my part of. So yeah, and especially I had surgery in June, so my ankle wasn't 100% come to the season 4. So yeah, I was still kind of learning to use my ankle again, but mainly mentality wasn't at the right place, so it was really hard.
Yeah, I get that. Like it's like Dan was saying, it's different when you're racing at the front every week, and then
Yeah.
you find yourself in a higher division, and you're not that guy anymore. You're battling for like, I don't know, 10th, 11th
P8,
maybe.
P9,
Yeah. To be
exactly.
fair, to you though, if you get your mentality right, you've shown in Austria already in first race of the season in qualifying, you can be right up there. So you're just one.
Yeah.
I think you're one piece away to really pushing forward, like being a maybe top 5 driver in Division One. Do you think you can do that? If you can get everything in place, do you think you can do that?
I believe so. Yeah, I feel like I'm fast enough. I just don't have the consistency, and especially in race, in quali, I feel I kind of figured out my kind of procedure to do a good quali. But in race, I'm still kind of struggling with penalties, mostly penalties. That's what my main problem is. I'm getting a penalty or two here and there, which kind of hinders me, especially in Division 1, where most people don't get penalties in races. So yeah, I think I can do it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
We'll
Mhm.
try. It'll be fascinating to watch you throughout the season. I guess we'll turn more towards kind of real life Formula One, because obviously, as we all are racing in a league like this, I suspect that everyone watching is probably going to be a Formula One fan.
Yes.
You're obviously an F1 fan, but in particular, you have, in my opinion, an unhealthy obsession with Fernando Alonso.
No.
So I just want to know, how did that obsession begin, and what drew you to become a fan of his?
I think first race I watched was Imola 2005.
Oh yeah,
Right,
And,
not a bad
you know,
race.
Yeah, not a bad race to watch it, right? Ever since that, I think I kind of rooted for Fernando. My dad even worked in Renault.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's not like Renault facility for Formula One, but producing cars and shit. So he kind of was a big fan of F1, and he got me into F1. So yeah, I ever since I was 5 years old, I kind of progressing. The love progressed. Kind of went to 2012. That's when, that was heartbreaking. That's where it hurt the most.
Gary, I wonder if you have anything to say about that season.
I mean, that was a great season. I mean, Cookie even Cookie recreated that scene in season 3 as well. So and he was just standing in the pit lane. He was like really following in his idol's footsteps. So yeah, tough luck.
I mean, yeah, what can I say? I mean, he's my hero, so yeah, I'm gonna be rooting for him in this upcoming season. I expect a lot from him. I still think he's what he was in his prime. I think he's still in his prime. So yeah,
Wow.
I hope he does well.
Obsessed and deluded.
Oh, wow. Big words, big words.
No, I think like you, Jav, and Adri have like the Alonso fan club in LOE. Literally,
Yeah.
you three guys are unreal. You can't say anything bad about Alonso, or you boys just
Oh,
come out of the shadows.
Yeah,
It's
we're gonna
unreal.
hear that.
Uh,
We're gonna see that.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully we'll see some nice battles between Seb and Alonso again.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that happening, actually.
Yeah,
To fair, yeah. Hopefully Seb doesn't spin this time,
yeah.
like every other time. But yeah, just staying away from F1 a little bit. College, is there anything you're doing at the moment in college? Like, is there any aspirations in the future that you'd like to go on and do? Like, what's your plan? Like what's your interest, hobbies outside of F1, really? I guess.
Oh, F1, that's it. That's the only hobby.
Wow.
I'll be honest, kind of took a break from college this year, and I kind of focused on esports. Not gonna lie.
Going well for
Wow.
you, is it? Going well?
I mean, I qualified for the TT event, which is gonna
Oh,
be in end of April, and top 3 get into pro exhibition races. So I hope I can get in top 3 and I mean work my way up. But it's a long way to there.
yeah,
Taking it step by step. Right
Well,
now I'm focused on LOE
yeah.
and trying to improve.
Well,
each
you
race.
are in LOE. You are racing against someone that races in the Challenger Series. Admittedly, I don't think he does a huge amount of practice for these races, but I guess that's something
kinda-
of an experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just him. I think the whole grid in Division 1, even though most of people use assists, I think it's even better because everyone's so close. And it kind of, in a way, prepares you to, fight for, with such good guys. It's quite intriguing.
Well, I hope you make it into esports so I can say I bet an esports driver. But I've got like you said there about assists. You were saying you like racing it, no assists. You're obviously a no assist driver. How
Yes.
difficult is that to get used to?
Definitely takes time. I'm gonna say that. I wasn't on pace straight away. Took me, I'd say, a few months when I turned it off, turn all assists off, because I was kind of fed up with 2017. I don't know why off the line. I just kind of said, "Fuck it, I'ma just turn off all of my assists for the next game and see how it goes." And yeah, it took me, I'd say, the whole 2018 game. I hated that game, honestly. But yeah, from 2019, I kind of started getting on pace, and I'm just getting better and better.
Yeah, to be fair, I've always been tempted to go no assists, and then the reality hits when that line disappears. It's so. Would you say line's the hardest one to get rid of? Or like, what would be the hardest system to get used to?
Well, for me it definitely was, but depends on the person again. Like I've talked to people that say, oh, driving red line, it's easy, but I mean, traction control, it's hard for someone. I heard someone turning off ABS is the hardest thing to do, so it depends on the person, but I'd say generally, I think line is the one that's the hardest to turn off and I think it takes the longest to get back on speed. That's my I think
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Hmm. Dan, you got any more questions to ask?
Yeah, certainly. This is something I actually didn't know about you until Gary actually sent me a list of some questions to ask. What because apparently
I do
you
my
live on a
research. I'm just gonna say I do my research. Okay,
yeah, fair play,
so I
fair
know what
play.
I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about.
So you, my friend, you live on a farm, which I actually find
Yes.
very intriguing. What's that like actually? Because that's something that I don't know too much about. So how different would you say life is living on a farm? That's very fascinating to me.
I mean, working a bit more, I guess.
Yeah.
I have to. I mean, now that I'm not in college, my dad kind of um, told me to work instead of him in the on farm. So I kind of have to uh, take care of cows and horses during the week when he's in doing in job. So yeah, it's fun and I mean fun. It's not really fun. I mean per se, but I gotta somehow help at home. You know, if I leave rent
Yeah.
free here, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What would you say like is the best thing and the worst thing about living on a farm? Because presuming that you live on a farm, you live like you're quite isolated. You're away from like
Yeah.
towns or something. So like you're probably like in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
basically. I'm
village,
guessing. Yeah.
basically, yeah. Our village has like 100 people, so
Wow.
that's the best thing about it.
Oh, you
'Cause I
really
don't
like
have.
that?
Yeah, I like that. I love that because I hate cities. I'm not gonna lie. I
Oh.
don't like cities. I don't know, maybe my anxiety, but I kind of don't like because I feel like every single person stares at me when I'm in the city because I feel I'm like I'm like a foreigner in those kind of places. So yeah. But the worst thing. Maybe the same thing. Places are kind of far away from it, so you
Yeah.
kind of have to
Yeah. So
drive.
the best thing about it is also the worst thing about it.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, yeah, I think, yeah.
Wow. That's
I see,
interesting.
because I agree with that and like what you say because I always think that living far away from like the hustle and bustle of life is actually just much more relaxing and just
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
opinion much easier. But I guess that there is also that inconvenience of just being far away from things that you just make it makes them more difficult to access. If you could somehow find a happy medium between them, I think that's that's the way to go. But
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're all after that, to be honest.
yeah.
Like you want a bit of the countryside, but you want a bit of the city. If you could make
yeah.
if you could make your perfect town, that would be it. But yeah, like you said, you're not doing college at the moment. But what were you doing? Like, obviously, like COVID. Who cares about college? Like when COVID was
Yeah.
happening and all this. But like, what were you studying? Like, is there anything like
Mechanical engineering.
is is that
So,
something you see yourself doing in the future?
to be fair, no.
I think my friend does mechanical engineering. I'm not. I don't know anything about it though. Is that's like when
I mean,
you're
it's
obviously working with cars and stuff, isn't it?
yeah. First of all, when I went to college, I wasn't. I mean, my aim was to kind of go into the way of aerodynamics and
Hmm.
uh, basically kind of trying kind of get into F1 kind of side of uh, engineering. And when I found out there's so much maths and physics, I just said, nah, thank you. I'm not doing that because it's really very complicated. I didn't expect it to be so complicated.
Hmm.
Uh, kind of underestimated it, but yeah. I, I mean, it has a lot of opportunities. The so I think I can find a job.
Yeah,
So
and I'm guessing you're another person because of course we had a few weeks ago we had Car Mentalist on the podcast and he talked about trying to get a job into motorsport. I'm guessing that's a dream sort of path for you
oh,
to get into that line of work.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
yeah, my dream job was always being a racing driver, but I don't see that
Yeah,
happening.
you
So
never know.
yeah,
You never know.
I mean, it's far-fetched, but
If you win the
yeah,
lotto, you
exactly.
can be a paid driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That could be a good thing. I mean, yeah, money is the solution to everything, right?
Literally.
Almost
that-
everything.
Who said money can't buy you happiness?
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, I'd also back you in a car against Mavi Raghunathan, if I'm honest. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
wait,
mean?
I'd back Cookie. I'd back Cookie because everyone would be
Yeah.
afraid of him. Just man would have like bloody hazard lights and everything on. It'd be you'd be terrified to overtake him.
I'd say, I'd say I'd do well. I mean, it would take time, but I think in go-karts, I feel like I'm good in go-karting. So
Yeah,
I think that translates a bit to the racing, but it's a whole different thing as well. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I
You
don't
said-
think I would be what's his name? I don't know.
Dragonator. I mean, it
Yeah,
can't be
I don't
that
think
bad.
I'd be. Yeah, I don't think I can be. Can be
No, I
that
don't think
bad.
it's possible. I don't think it's possible.
I think I'd be sacked a few times if I do the same that I do in online league racing.
Yeah, I think you would have got your super license taken away. To be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But you said that yeah, but you said that you wanted to potentially get into esports in the near future. Are there any other areas of work within Formula One or just motorsport in general that you think are realistic and things that you'd enjoy?
I honestly don't think. I mean, I'm not a good commentator, that's for sure.
Hey, you
I-
weren't bad when we commentated together.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think I don't enjoy it that much. I mean, it's fun a few times, like here and there, but I don't think I would be. It would be something I would enjoy. But other than that, maybe a mechanic could do.
ooh.
I mean, that would be a realistic thing. But I don't know how to get to that point.
Work.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. Gotta finish college first.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we have any more questions for Cookie, unfortunately, Dan. Unless you have anything before we ask the final question that we ask every week.
Not really, no.
No. I just hope, Cookie, that you still have nightmares about Division 2. I hope.
No, I don't. I don't.
Nah, to be fair, it was a long time ago now, to be honest.
It was
But,
long, yeah.
yeah.
I kind of accepted it, per se. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Exactly. I
Move
mean,
on.
you're doing better in D1 than me anyway, so like it's worked out well for you. I'm still in D2 and you're back in D1.
I mean, if you look at that way, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, final question that we ask the guests every week is if you could race in any era of F1, which would it be and why?
I think for me, 2005, 2006,
Yeah.
2007, 2008.
I wonder why.
That's-
I wonder why.
The cars, man. Oh, I don't know why, but the cars just for me, those cars are something else. I don't know
That's
why.
true.
They look.
I don't
they
know
look
why.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they just look sexy for some reason.
Yeah.
They're like kind of small but quick at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I think that's where I'd race if I could.
So
And,
are you, yeah, go on, Dan. You asked the question, Dan.
Because this whole trend started when we had Old School on the first week. Would you back yourself for a championship against Fernando Alonso? Kimi
Prime
Räikkönen, and Lewis
Alonso.
Hamilton?
Oh, I don't think so. No, no way. Maybe against Vettel, yeah. I think against Vettel, yeah, sure.
What?
But against Alonso, nah, I don't think so.
What? Oh, you be a test driver, mate. Don't worry, you wouldn't even make it. So, who was the backmarkers back then? It was it wasn't Minardi, wasn't
Glock. No, it wasn't Glock actually.
No.
Wait, who was
it?
it?
Albert was it? No, was Christian
Jaguar?
Albert? Jaguar maybe.
I'm
else
not
was
sure.
it?
I don't remember.
Whoever they were, that's who you'd be racing for.
I'll
Sauber
take
were
it.
pretty bad back then as well, weren't they?
I'd still beat Vettel. I'm not sorry. I'd still beat him.
Alright, sure, mate. Sure,
I'm
sure.
sorry,
Yeah.
but he's washed.
Oh, okay. Your man's 41. Got some grey hairs coming back into F1.
41.
How
do you
old are all
mean?
these? What else?
39.
39.
39.
Oh wow, he's
39, 41. Oh no.
He's
Sorry,
only,
yeah, isn't he?
he's only 2 years younger, older than Vettel. What do you mean?
Vettel's only like 32, 33.
Vettel's balding,
Kevin, look, he
bro.
looks about
Vettel's
45.
balding.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let's end the podcast now before any more Vettel slander. Let's sake. Cookie, it's been a pleasure having you on, and thanks to Dan once again for being company for another week. Sorry for being late this week, but hopefully we have it back on schedule again next week when we have another guest on. No idea who it's going to be. It's always a mystery, so make sure to tune in. Until then, bye.
Goodbye.